FA presents The Inner Circle.
And away we go!
Starring Coach Ant and Coach Rel.
None.
I got a question. 3 questions, but you're only allowed to answer yes or no.
Okay.
All right. Have you forgiven yourself?
Yes.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I forgive her.
Yes
But
or no?
there's okay, yes. Yes. I'm sorry. I forgot they were yes or no. Yes.
And last, have you forgiven the person that murdered your father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We usually on the end ask some advice that you would give your younger self,
Mhm.
but instead I want to remix it for this session. For the girls that are saying, no matter what, I'm gonna do OnlyFans or I'm gonna go into the nightlife, right? And they're got their mind dead set on doing that.
Mhm.
What are some things that you would say that they have to keep their mind's eye open to and things they need to watch out for?
Look into that camera.
Keep your mind open to the fact that life is so much bigger and that what you're going through right now is just for right now. Storms cannot, it sounds so cliche, but storms cannot last forever. Somewhere the storm has to come to an end and the sun has to come out, and you just have to stay steadfast and wait for that moment. Don't be so quick to go with the fast and easiest option, because the fastest and easiest option is often going to lead you down a road that is filled with much more hardship, loss, everything negative. Whereas if you be a little patient, it might take a little longer. It might, be a little harder. You might have to work harder for some things, but the light at the end of the tunnel is going to be so much more greater, and you will genuinely be able to live. Being in the nightlife is being able to say you got money instead. That's not living. That's not living.
Before we can leave, let you go, and I appreciate that answer. Why do they call you the crazy dog lady?
Okay.
Shout out them socials.
So I'm the crazy dog lady because I'm a dog groomer. And I am crazy about dogs. I love dogs so much. I've loved dogs since I was a child, and dogs have been a great part of my healing journey. And I'm crazy about them. Like I like dogs more than people, and my mom often say like I treat my dogs like royalty and my family like trash if I'm comparing it to. Like I just we don't deserve them. Like they contribute so much to our everyday world, and people just don't understand.
Absolutely.
They don't understand it.
If you have any, we'll give you one question for each. If you have any, you might not.
For y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, one question. You get to ask.
Yeah,
It could be the same question. It could be individually.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to ask.
Okay. From a man's point of view, where do you guys feel that we are, as women, as Black women, are going wrong? Like, why can't we get that? Like, why is it so hard for Black men to give us the treatment that we see them give to women of other cultures so easily?
You want to go first?
Yeah. It's a loaded question.
It's a great question, though.
But when we come into a situation for Black men and Black women where we already coming in with barriers, we are asking the other person to tear it down for us, or at least assist in it. But I don't think we know the difference between assist and full transfer. So a lot of the times, we looking for somebody to save us out of the situation. Have you ever looked at a man? You looked at him like, yeah, he got it. He might got his stuff together, but there's certain insecurities he might not talk about. But when he get around amongst the rest of the fellas, he leaning on the woman as if that's his mother, and the woman is leaning on the man as if that's the father, and that's not it. No, that's your partner. Y'all should be able to serve one another. But what happens when the first mistake happens, and now we look at each other as a op?
Now we enemies.
Now we enemies. at that point, it's no longer the problem. Shouldn't be the thing that tears us apart. It should be the biggest issue as far as us handling it together. But if I can't even stand with my own sibling, and I can't stand next to or trust my own mother, or my own father, or my own cousin, how can I trust this girl that I just met? Can't. If I'm stepping into a situation and I don't know how to emotionally regulate my feelings, but then you hurt my feelings, and I never took care of the other people that hurt my feelings as far as forgiving them, then it's going to pile on, and then you going to bring what you bring, and I'm going to lash out on you because I never lashed out on them. When people don't know how to express they hurt the closest people to them.
Yeah.
Close proximity. That has happened generationally across our generations. That's where we are as far as Black women and Black men. I honestly think we in a space where none of us trust each other. So I'm going to go ahead to the other side.
Yeah.
Because their mom taught them how to nurture nature and all of that.
Okay.
With us.
So what can a woman do? And it might be a personal question because it'll look different for everybody. But if you're going into a relationship with a woman as a Black man, because like you said, Black men deal with things that they don't talk about. So you can't hold somebody responsible for something they don't know. So for women, like what advice would you guys as Black men give women, like when you are entering a new relationship with a man who might have things he doesn't speak about, or might, he might be perceived as this manly man who, has everything put together. What are some things that she should go into that relationship knowing? And also, like, what are some things that she can do to create a safe space to show a man, like, you could trust me? I know you've been failed by so many others, but
let me answer this, and then you can go after. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, even with my like, it don't matter what Black woman I ever dealt with, and I dealt with a lot. I never sat down with a Black woman and was allowed to express myself. Never. And if I could, and if I did, it all on the other end, in an argument, it was weaponized. That's the issue. You can't use my deepest intrusive thoughts against me whenever it's convenient for you. And you spoke to that, where you was like, yo, we come up in bully society. Little Black kids, we say the craziest stuff to each other. Now what happens when, you know what I'm saying? Now what happens when we 20 plus years old and we still got that same mentality of, man, I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me. That's it. That's the biggest issue. I don't think as Black men and Black women, from what I be hearing, we don't have a safe space for each other in order to our intrusive thoughts. I sat with plenty of Black men, and they said, yo, I deal with women outside our actual ethnicity, because I use a perfect example. Plenty of my homies can go to their girls that's other nationalities and say, yo, I struggle with lust. And you know what them women will say? We gonna work through it together. You sit down with that, I struggle with lust, that relationship is over. Lust don't even start physically. It starts mentally.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing. So if I'm coming to you and telling you y'all struggle with lust, it's a temptation, it's there, and I'm trying to express it to you. When is that a bad thing?
I just had a situation. We got time?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, this guy, meet him, we exchange numbers. We probably held 3 conversations over the phone. And by the second conversation, he was asking me about OnlyFans and just some very, some questions that I just felt like you should not feel comfortable asking me. The third conversation, I cut it off. Not because I'm not willing to, because I know I'm not perfect. I got things that I need to work on, and you know, when I do enter a relationship or even start dating someone, like I have to be raw and honest about those things and hope that they accept me without judgment. So it's no judgment, but me just getting to know you off the bat and you asking me about OnlyFans and all that stuff, and then you FaceTiming me, asking me to see me walk away, like it's too soon, which means that lust issue, and he was very honest and transparent, and there was no judgment. I have no judgment against this man. I appreciate his honesty and transparency because you gave me the option to choose whether this is something I want to be a part of or not. So I appreciate it. But he told me the way he was brought up and, you know, the men that he was brought up by and, you know, the example of women that he had plays into his problem with lust. Now, for me, you feeling so comfortable on day 2 of just having a phone conversation, that lust thing is pretty deep. And that's just an assessment. I could be wrong. That's just my observation. That's pretty deep. And because you brought it up to me, you know it's there, an acknowledgement, that's number 1. So you on the road to fixing it, but the way I'm looking at it, you just at level 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's too low for me to feel like I'm going through this with you. I don't even know you.
Yeah.
I'm not just throwing anybody burden on my back.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm gonna address 2 things and then we can wrap it. One, I think there's an epidemic going on with this judgment word. I think, especially I hear it a lot amongst women, like the judgment, like I don't want to be judged or no one can judge other people. No, we got to judge. We were given judgment for a reason. Judgment is discernment. It keeps you away from danger. This whole thing of now destroying someone for the judgment you've came across. Like if I don't agree with your lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to degrade you or destroy you from earth, right? I don't have to do that. I just don't have to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole thing of saying that, yeah, we need to judge. We need to put people in boxes and and because that's how you keep your principles. If like one of the things I was talking to Ann about, it's heavy, so it's not something we need to dive into. It's just like I'm not even going to go into the full thing, but it's like when you believe something and I allow something else now because it makes other people feel good, I go in the other direction from my belief. Do I truly still believe? Because now I'm allowing you to come in my circle, but I don't agree with your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to be non-judgmental. No, I need to be judgmental because that's how I keep my standards. That's how I'm going to keep me safe. That's how I keep my family safe. So I don't have to, but again, I don't have to dissuade you or keep you away from me. I could bring you into my fold and try and teach you the things I know to persuade you from in my way of living. And if you don't agree with it at the end, then I can't be fully into that light because you're going to disrupt my light. So I think judgment is necessary, but
real quick, I just want to say something because I think that that's very important. What you're saying is very important. And can we be honest about something? Like love don't mean acceptance.
No.
That's not the same thing, man.
Same way forgiveness don't mean I gotta allow you back into my life.
Forgiveness don't mean reconciliation.
Yeah. Right.
Like, and I think when we start to like misconstrue these words or try to start talking about them interchangeably, we mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can love everybody, which I do for the most part. I say that. At least I try to. But I'm not called to accept everybody's lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
What I believe in, I would never bend on behalf of somebody else. I just won't. Mm-hmm. Back to standards, expectation. Our standard got to be the same in order for me to even invite you into my life in the first place. Mm-hmm. Then once we establish the standard, now it's expectation. Expectations got to be communicated across the board. But I can love you all day long, but that don't mean I accept you and you don't got to accept me. That's cool. I could, like, since we talking Bible, you want to know the first person that loved somebody from a distance? God, when he separated from Adam and Eve. I still love you, but stay over there, though. Like, and I think we have to get to that point with each other. Like, yo, I love you, but stay over there.
Judgment.
Go over there. I don't rock with what you got going on.
You hear it, and girls hear it, and intrinsically it just burns their. It's judgment. He made a judgment call. He said, "You defied me. Go over there." It happened. It's a judgment, and it's like we don't want to judge. You gotta judge. It keeps because what happens is if you keep embracing everybody and accepting everyone into your lifestyle, they're gonna accept danger in there because you're not because you're keeping your discernment is keeping that judgment away. There's a reason why you watch a horror movie and you see that door creak open and you're like, nah, I ain't going in there. There's a reason why, because your judgment knows that something bad is behind that door. But if we just accept everything, then we just walk behind that door, and then when you die, you die. No,
well, yes. Yeah, so discernment is the wisdom inside of God. The issue is, but I want to, and then I'll wrap this up. We're going to wrap this up. But
yeah, because this could go.
This could go.
It can, if we let it.
Just like we did, it's certain words you just got to separate. Love, acceptance, right? We talked about reconciliation, forgiveness. Here's the other two words we got to separate: imagination and revelation. That has to be separated. If you operating off your imagination, then that thing could go, right? There's no structure around it. But if I'm operating off of revelation, insight, wisdom of God, it got framework around it, and I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about. Truth is absolute. You can't bend the truth. The truth is the truth, and that's just it. But we can always go into another topic. Let's stop here. All right? Let's stop here. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming into another Inner Circle.
And thank the crazy dog lady.
The crazy dog lady.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you.
We love y'all. Until next time, y'all like, subscribe, and y'all comment. Let us know what y'all think. Enjoy your day. What's up, y'all? If y'all like with this conversation that we've been having, the Inner Circle, man, first of all, if you want to be a guest, feel free to hit us up, man. We're going to look into your credentials, see who you are. If you fit the criteria, then feel free to sit down on this couch right here, the hot seat. And another thing, like, subscribe, and lock in with us on all social media platforms, Our Friendly Advice. And to visit our website is ourfriendlyadvice.net. You can book us there. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.